Hello, beautiful! Today I have an exciting video to share with you. I will be reviewing the entire new Huda Beauty Rose Quartz collection, with the exception of the highlight because they are not currently selling that at Sephora. So if you would like to see all that, just keep watching because I've got swatches for you. I'm going to show you how to get this eyeshadow look. We're going to be trying out everything. So if you want to see that, just keep watching. I love doing beauty product review videos for you, and I love trying out new makeup. So if you are into that, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and also make sure to like this video if you find that you are enjoying it. If you're also ready for the holidays, make sure you like this video. But also, if you are not ready for the holidays, still like this video. I am pretty obsessed with this collection because I love crystals. Whenever I feel like I need a little extra something in my life, I grab a crystal. At the end of the day, I do believe in the power of crystals. Anything that is crystal related, I'm all for, especially for the rose quartz crystals because it's beautiful in itself and the message behind the crystal is also beautiful. So I am super excited to dig into this with you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. So it says, use the spatula to scoop the formula and spread a thick layer evenly across clean face from forehead to chin. Wait 20 minutes, ooh, that's a pretty long time, until the mask is dry, and then you peel it off. Use once or twice a week. I am going to save as much product as possible. Actually, I will just put this on my face right now because I want to get like all of this stuff. Ooh. That feels very cold. Okay, so this is the consistency. It's really hard to describe. It's kind of looks like the texture of like before you're about to like bake a cake. Batter. It's like the texture of batter. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and use this to apply it. So the reason why I want to make sure that I'm saving as much product as possible is because it says to put a thick layer. So if we have to put a thick layer, I don't feel like we're gonna have a lot of product to work with. I really like the way this looks. It's very pretty. I'm not sure if the spatula is necessary. I kind of feel like we could just use our fingers, so I'm gonna try to use my fingers and see how that works. So I feel like if I use my fingers, it'll be a little faster, yeah. Ooh, this is very thick. Yeah, I think it's fine to just use your fingers actually. But I really like the way this feels. It has this cooling sensation. So if you have irritated skin, like for example, maybe you got sunburnt or something, then you might really like this. I really like the cooling effect. Like it doesn't feel cold like some other masks do. It just has this like cooling sensation. It's very, very goopy. It says to do a very thick layer, so I'm just going in and kind of building it up to make sure that I have a very thick layer everywhere. Since this does have rose quartz in it, I feel like you should like start meditating or do some like positive affirmations while you're applying this. You do have to kind of take your time with this mask, otherwise it can get pretty messy, so you have to take your time, be gentle. You don't want this to get anywhere since it is so goopy. I still have a pretty decent amount, so who knows, maybe this might last a pretty long time. I was surprised at how little I was able to use, but when I was using the spatula, I found that I was picking up a lot more product, so I probably would prefer to just use my fingers so I'm not like using too much product, and I'm also a lot more aware of how much product I'm putting onto my face. Hopefully this product works really well compared to other masks because I'm looking at my timer and it took me like 7 minutes to apply all of this. Hopefully I'll be able to do it faster, but that definitely is a con. It does take some time to apply this because you do have to kind of take your time. You don't want it to get too messy. Maybe it'd be better to do it in the bathroom, so if it does get messy, maybe you can do it a little bit faster. So now we're gonna wait 20 minutes, which I also feel like is a bit of a con because 20 minutes is a pretty long time. Unlike other masks like facial sheets, it doesn't feel like it's too much of a bother to have it on your face, but this one I feel like, you know, I don't feel as comfortable laying on the couch. I just want to make sure that none of the product gets on anything else, whereas if I were to wear a sheet mask, I don't necessarily need to worry about that and I could just lay in bed and not have to worry. So 20 minutes does feel like a pretty long time, and a lot of other masks tend to say like 15 minutes to 20 minutes or 10 minutes to 15 minutes. So this is definitely one of the longer masks. One thing to note is that it did take a little bit of time for me to wash it off my hands. I guess because it has that peel off texture. So I did have to wash it off with soap and water. Otherwise it wasn't going to get off my hands. Okay, now is the time to peel. It is definitely feeling tighter. Like, I can barely talk. Ooh. Quite sticky. Should I wait for it to dry more? It's not really peeling off. Let's see if I should try down here. Okay. This part is starting to peel. Ooh. I like that. That is so satisfying. I'm assuming the parts that won't easily peel, maybe they're just not dry enough yet. I did wait 20 minutes. Oh, and I think also the parts that I put on a thicker amount, I think those parts will probably take a while to dry and peel off. And you definitely want to wait for this to dry and peel it off, because if you just kind of try to wash it off and remove it yourself, it's gonna take some time. You're definitely gonna have to use like some soap or maybe like a towel to get it off. Okay, here's the nose part. Oh, that is so satisfying. I wonder if it would have came off better if I had used a spatula and applied it that way. Maybe the spatula will help it apply more evenly. So that way I don't have like these uneven layers that some will come off and some won't come off. So just to see, I'm gonna let this dry for like 5 more minutes and then finish removing it. Otherwise it's gonna take me a while to remove all of this. Okay, I waited 5 minutes, a little bit more than 5 minutes, so let's see if this will peel off. No, it's still goopy. Yeah, this part's a bit goopy. That mask took a lot of work. I went ahead and finished up with the mask. Like I said earlier, it was a little difficult to remove from my hands. You do have to use soap and water, and I just went in again and I had to do the same thing. Some of the mask was on my fingernail and it was really hard to remove. So I definitely had to use soap and water to remove it. I guess not a huge issue, but most masks you can take the remaining product and just kind of like rub it into your hands. Now let's get into how the face looks. So the instructions say that in the clinical results, people noticed effects like 5 minutes after. I would say some parts of my face, it's been 5 minutes later. So I feel like it is okay to test this out. Okay, so let's see if it's doing some of the things it claims to do. Skin should look brighter. My skin definitely looks a lot brighter. I think overall, I really love the way that my face looks after using it. It's supposed to feel smoother. It definitely does feel smoother. I can't say that it feels any tighter. I don't see it looking lifted. It says that it will unclog the pores. I don't think I could really speak on that because my pores didn't look clogged. Helps with dullness. It definitely is going to help with dullness. I think the fact that it's brightening your skin is also going to help your skin to not look so dull. Add a youthful glow, absolutely. Feel hydrated, absolutely. It also claims to calm and soothe the skin. It has a certain ingredient in it that helps to calm and soothe the skin, and like I said earlier, it definitely helps with calming and soothing the skin. So it does all of that, and with that said, I can't say that it is doing everything it claims to do. Like I said, I don't see any tightness, I don't see any lifting whatsoever, so that was a huge bummer because I'm definitely looking for products that will tighten and firm the skin, but I just do not feel like this product is doing that at all. Besides that, it is doing everything else, so overall that's pretty good. Like I said, just not doing one of the things it claims to do, like one of the biggest things that it claims to do. It's not doing that, but overall it's still good. I love the brightening properties that it's adding to my skin. It's definitely helping with the dullness. Now to get into the cons, I don't really like the way it feels. As you can see, as I'm like grabbing my skin right here, it has this like texture to where it almost feels a little bit sticky, kind of like a little bit tacky, not too much. And I think it kind of depends on the skin type you have. I think if you have really dry skin, you might love this. Overall, I'm not crazy about the way it feels. It kind of feels like I took a little bit of Vaseline and applied it to my skin. Another con I have is, like I mentioned earlier, this is a bit time consuming and it does get a little bit messy. So I found that to remove all the excess off, I just went ahead and tried like rubbing it off, but then little flakes started to appear. So eventually I just took a makeup rug and tried to remove it off, but still it was getting those little flakes. So then I had to take the makeup rag, dip it in water and remove it that way, and I found it to work best that way. So maybe this is like a trial and error product and I'm just gonna have to keep playing around with it to perfect it. Like I said, the next time I do this, I'm going to just do a very thin layer and hopefully it just peels all in one layer. In that case, this would be a lot more convenient, a lot more time saving, and I wouldn't mind it as much. Another, probably a huge con, already with the packaging, I think the packaging is adorable, but I don't necessarily like the spatula. It is just pure plastic and it feels very cheap. This is not a cheap product, so I was just hoping that the spatula would be thicker and nicer feeling. If anything, maybe make it out of like rose quartz or something. The reason why I mention that is because, like I said, this is a pricey product, so they definitely can add a nicer spatula. And then also the Laneige lip balm is cheaper than this product, and yet their spatula is still a lot nicer. It's thicker and it just feels nicer in the hand overall. And I think using a product like this, especially because you're paying it's pretty expensive for a face mask. Overall, it'd be nice to have a nicer spatula. It does kind of alter the way, like how you feel when you're using this product. Like if you have this like nice spatula with a little bit of weight and thickness to it, I feel like you're just going to feel better when you're applying it, which is kind of the whole message behind this product, is that, you know, you want to feel good when you're applying it. Also, I definitely would not repurchase this product because there are so many other products that literally do the same exact thing, all while tightening the skin and adding firmness, and yet they're a lot easier to use. Some masks I've tried where it's like a wash-off mask, it literally took like 5 to 10 minutes in order to achieve the same effect. and it left my skin feeling a lot nicer. Ooh, now, no, the stickiness is still around my cheeks here, but around here, it's not as sticky anymore, so maybe it'll dry down and not feel sticky anymore. But regardless, like I said, I've used other masks, like wash off masks, where it took like 5 to 10 minutes. Granted, I do have to wash it off, but I wash it off and then my skin just like looks brighter, tighter, all that jazz. And in addition to that, it was probably around $20 or less for those types of masks. And then I also kind of think you could get these from face sheets as well. And again, face sheets are a lot less expensive than this. They're a lot easier. They're just overall easier to use. You just pop it off, take it off, and throw it away, and you're good to go. You could pat the excess product into your skin, into your hands, anywhere else in your body. So with that said, I definitely wouldn't repurchase this. I can't say that I would recommend it either, unless you just are obsessed with this packaging and you love the idea that it has rose quartz in it, then definitely go for it. I think the biggest selling point with this product and the reason why anyone should consider trying it is because, one, it's really fun, it looks cool, the peeling effect is fun as well, and two, because it has rose quartz in it. And you know, rose quartz crystals in general usually aren't cheap, so you're probably paying for having rose quartz in your mask. And again, if you really like the whole rose quartz look, the packaging is stunning. I absolutely love the packaging, so I could see someone like having this on their bathroom sink. It would look really nice, especially if you get more of her skincare stuff. But overall, I'm definitely not going to repurchase it. If it was a little bit cheaper, I might consider it, but like I said, I think it's a really cool idea, it's a really cool concept. But at the end of the day, it's more of like a gimmicky purchase for like, ooh, it has crystals in it, and ooh, it peels off. And those are the two things I think that really sell this product. But as far as like what it actually does for my skin, I don't think it's that great of a product. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the eyeshadow. now we are getting ready for the eyeshadow palette. Although I was quite underwhelmed with the peel off mask, I think I'm going to be really happy with this palette based off of the swatches and the texture. These shadows are perfectly described. The metallics are insanely buttery. The mattes are soft and velvety-like. Also, I'm really happy that I picked this one up because it is stunning. I feel like all of the products here, especially the eyeshadow, the packaging looks so much better in person, and the eyeshadow brushes are probably the prettiest eyeshadow brushes I have seen. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead and do a look using this palette. If you are a fan of mauve-y colors, pinks and purples, then you will definitely like this. But I also love how there are some brown shades and the metallic duochromes. Every single one of them is just so beautiful, and I'm so excited to try it. I'm gonna go ahead and use her brushes because I will also be reviewing her brush set as well. I'm gonna first start off using the crease, and I love how her brushes have the name labeled on it. It's not just like a number, it tells us what the brush is for. So we've got the eye shading brush, we have a smudge brush, and then we have a blender brush. So I'm going to go in with the blender brush and use this as the crease color. I know these are going to be like super pigmented, so I feel like I could just go ahead and pop it on using a blending brush because I'm still going to get good pigment off of it. If I feel like I'm not going to get good pigment, then I'd rather use like a specific crease brush in order to get the color to show up better. Anyways, I'm going to start off with a very light shade. I'm going to go in with Radiant. These shades are giving me Naked, or what's the palette called? Naked 2? I'll post a picture here, but it's giving me those vibes. I feel like there's a lot of similar shades. This blending brush is very soft. Then again, they usually are soft when you first start using them, but so far I am really liking it, and I'm so happy that it's performing well because these brushes are stunning. She needs to come out with more brushes in this exact same style because they are stunning, and they would be even better if they were made out of like actual rose quartz. That would be amazing. Yeah, I am loving this blending brush. Super easy to blend. It just blends so seamlessly. My current favorite brush is the Sigma tapered blending brush, and honestly, these perform very similar. Okay, so pigmented. I don't even have to go in a second time and blend that out, even with using a blending brush. So the next shade I'm going to go in with is Serenity, and I guess I'm just kind of going for like a purplish, more of like, I'm kind of going for a mauve-y, cold look here. So, and then I'm going to focus that more on my crease area, kind of bringing it down a little bit. I don't know if you saw from the swatches on my hand, the mattes tend to get a little patchy. I think that's the right word for it, I'm not sure. But they kind of, like a piece of it will come out of the palette and I'll have to go and smear that into my arm. But so far I'm not noticing that happening on my eyes, which is a really good thing, but it's probably because I'm not picking up that much product. So it's probably just when I do the swatches, it looks like that. These are blending really nicely. So I definitely could see these being beginner friendly. That's just a really nice purple, I feel like, on my eyes. Whereas I feel like in the palette, it looks more like a dusty, very light mauve-y kind of purple. But I feel like on my eyes, it looks a little bit brighter. On the outer corners of my eyes, I'm gonna go in with Precious. And let's see what brush I can use here. I'm actually just going to use, I don't really know what an eye shading brush is. I'm assuming this is for all over the eye. I should know that by now. But anyways, I'm going to go in with the smudge brush and I'm going to just apply this on the outer corners of my eyes. And I'm gonna drag it into my crease, at least the outer portion, just so I could add a little bit of depth to that area, just to get some, you know, dimension in. And then I'm gonna pull it in. I like that. I'll just have to go back in and blend it. It almost looks like it's just a deeper purple, but again, when you look in the palette, it looks like it's a gray, which I think that would be pretty cool if it was that color on my eye, but it's so nice. Another thing with these colors, apart from the metallics and the shimmery shades, there is nothing unique about these colors. Like I said, you could probably find this in Urban Decay palette. You could definitely find this with ColourPop palette. So I don't necessarily feel like you need to go out and get this palette for these matte shades. If you do want to get this palette, I definitely would say get it for these metallic shimmery shades, because those are the ones that are truly unique. I will say though that these shadows feel very nice. They feel very soft. It's kind of just, it feels like a feather is brushing against my eye. Okay, I'm gonna go in with the blending brush and just blend that. So we're gonna go in with Self Love because this isn't necessarily like purple. It kind of looks peachy and pink and silver mixed together. Wow, this is gorgeous. There is a little bit of fallout. Very unfortunate that there is a lot of fallout. Like I said, this is a pricey palette. So in my mind, it shouldn't have any fallout. It should be like top performing. Little bit of fallout. I honestly feel like I would knock it down a point for having this much fallout. Like you can even see it in the camera here. Usually when I have fallout, like you can't see it in the camera. I'm gonna go in with Serenity and just put that in the crease again. I think this would make a really nice cut crease, putting the shimmer on. Maybe try to go in with Moon Magic and see what that looks like in my inner corners. Let's see if it even works. That looks like just blue. But when I swatched it on my arm, it looked purple. These are duochrome, so, but right now I'm just getting blue. No purple whatsoever. It still looks cool. I just thought I was gonna get purple, that's why I chose that color. Let's try Cosmic Love. Okay, that's definitely blue. I think I went into the blue and, oh, okay, now I see it. It looks like a dark purple, but it comes off blue. I should have picked up the outer color. I'm just gonna stop there. I think we're good. I don't want to mess it up anymore. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put on the eyeliner and some lashes, and we will see the ending results. All right, so I went ahead and applied some eyeliner, popped on some lashes. I'm gonna go in with the deepest shade, Mantra, and I'm gonna just smoke out and deepen up this outer portion of my eye. So I am quickly going to share my thoughts on this palette. I feel like a lot of you are not going to want to hear this, but again, I'm a little underwhelmed with it. I think if you are really excited for the metallics and the shimmers in this palette, then I say go for it because they are beautiful. However, I am really disappointed with the fallout. And because it is a metallic-y shade, there's little sparks of glitter in it, and it's not like a matte eyeshadow where you could just dust it off or even scrape it off with a spoolie like I normally can. It's more difficult to remove glitter once it falls off around your face. You can use tape, but even using tape, you risk removing some of your foundation and concealer. Of course, you could just apply it for applying your foundation and concealer, but from my personal experience, I feel like most people like to do their face and their foundation first and then do their shadow. But even if you decide to do the shadow beforehand, you're still gonna have to go in there and clean up the residue. Like I said, it's not a huge issue, and I don't really have a huge issue with fallout, especially when it's glitter, because I feel like it looks cute sometimes. They're just like little reflex. However, for the price, I just don't think that I should be getting fallout. And I've used plenty of shimmers where there's no fallout. So I mean, it's like a metallic-y shimmer. It's not just a straight shimmer, so I don't quite understand why there's any fallout at all. Like the metallic-y should kind of bind with the glitters and not cause that. So I do like the shimmers, I do like the metallics, but I feel like I'd rather get those from a different palette. For example, I know Pat McGrath has some really metallic shadows, so I feel like I'd rather go for those ones because, like I said, just having metallic glitter fallout is not fun. As far as the mattes go, I love the formula, I love the textures, they're so beautiful. They feel so nice on the skin, but they're just not very different from other eyeshadow colors I have. So like I said, if you don't have any purples, you don't have any pinks, I think this is a great place to start. I am a little bummed, and it was kind of confusing because I was going into these shadows thinking that they were going to be a certain color, and then when I applied them, they were different. I was thinking I was going to get this like unique kind of purple, but it really, as you can see on my eyes, it's just purple. It's light purple, it's purple. And I don't even feel like I'm getting like a deep purple in it either, even though in the palette, it looks like it's a deep purple. So I definitely could just bust out my ColourPop palette and get this same look, which is just, it's a bummer. And I feel like even with my Anastasia palette, I feel like the colors were a bit more unique and luxurious looking. These ones, like I said, just look like something that I could get from a ColourPop palette. Overall, I do think it is a nice palette, and like I said, if you do not have these colors and if you love the shimmery shades, metallic-y shades in this palette, then definitely go for it. But I'm just saying, to be honest with you, if you want purples and you want pinks, I personally would just pick up a ColourPop palette that has some pinks and purples in it. Let's go ahead and try out the lip gloss. It's supposed to be like a balm like gloss, more of a treatment type formula. It is supposed to be hydrating and long wearing. It can provide long-term hydration and remove the appearance of fine lines. So overall, I think it's supposed to give this smoothing, plumping effect with a really high shine. So let's go ahead and try it. I feel like this would probably be a really good topper, but for now I just want to try it on its own. It's not as see-through as I thought it was going to be. There is a little bit of color. I like this. I like this a lot. It feels very comfortable. I feel like there's a little tiny amount of a plumping effect. Kind of makes your lips look like a little bit more juicy. Overall, I like it. Ew. I don't like that though. I don't know why I'm saying that. Maybe I applied too much. Okay, that's better. Yeah, I think it makes the lips look nice. I do feel like they're plumping up a little bit. Overall, I enjoy it. The texture is nice. It just feels like your standard lip balm. I am going to spend a little bit more time with it because I love crystals and I believe in the power of crystals. So I'm probably going to try to apply this every single day and see if there's something. Maybe I will start to love myself a little bit more. Maybe my lips will start to look a little bit more beautiful. So I'm definitely going to continue using this, and it's a plus that the packaging is really nice. Again, I think the packaging looks so much better in person. Like, if you are interested in any of this Huda Beauty stuff and you're not certain of the packaging, just go to Sephora and check out the packaging, because I promise you the packaging just looks so much better in person. So that is it for my review. I would say if I had to, I don't think I would repurchase anything from this collection. Yeah, I just wouldn't. The brushes are really nice. I think the brushes are just so pretty. They're really pretty to look at, but I think, yeah, overall the brushes are pretty top for me, but everything else I feel like I could just get somewhere else for a lot cheaper. We'll have to see how the lip product performs, but that's just gonna take time. Off the bat, I'm not like insanely impressed with it, although my lips do look pretty nice. And then the Glow Pill mask, you already know how I feel about that. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you enjoy videos like this, make sure to subscribe to my channel because I'm always reviewing makeup on here, whether it be new or not new. I'm here reviewing makeup for you. So make sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in another one. Bye.